Okay, I'm going to show you some nuances of this Cobramatic record changer. First of all, it'll never pick up at the end of the last record and turn off. It doesn't have that feature. It'll just keep playing the last record over and over until you turn it off. There's two ways to reject to the next cycle. You press this button, which activates a solenoid, which kicks the trip mechanism into the main gear and starts the next cycle. The other way for that to happen is for the friction lever to make contact with an electrical contact, which does the same thing on the solenoid and goes into the next gear. That friction lever moves with this, but can easily be moved independent of it. So what happens here is while it's playing, actually before it plays, this friction lever comes back, hits this stop, then moves over, and depending on the size of the record, will come over and only go so far and drop onto the record. Then eventually it'll hit this when it gets to the lead out groove and make the connection on the solenoid. Zenith has that little black stopper there that moves in and out, in and out, in and out. As it's getting closer to the end of the record, as this keeps moving closer, it taps it back ever so slightly so that it stays away from the contact until it gets to the lead out groove. So I'll give you a demonstration and I'll zoom in on the gear, the offset gear that bumper's connected to. So I'll press the reject cycle, but before I do that, I'm going to zoom in there. See that? That little disc? It's going in and out, in and out. And that's taking that bumper, wherever it is, and see it's moving in and out, in and out. So we'll play the record. Let me back out a little bit here. So you see the friction lever isn't too awful far away from that contact, but the bumper, as that needle moves inward, will eventually push the friction lever out ever so slightly until it gets to the end of the record. Now if you were to pick this tone arm up prematurely and move it in quickly, it's going to negate the bumper and actually trip the mechanism far sooner than a lead out groove. I'll show you that. See that? All you have to do is touch it a little bit. But if you let the needle take its natural progression towards the inside slowly, it'll operate like it should. And when it gets to the next record, or the last record, it'll just keep playing over and over and over until you turn it off. Just move it back to here, turn it off. That's your tutorial on your Cobramatic. Fun, fun, fun.